Hello there, Tom.
Hello.
Are you a user of any running-based technology such as apps or watches?
I have my phone on which I have the Nike running app. Other than that, though, none.
Okay, so what makes you use this app over other apps?
Well, I associate Nike with sports, obviously, because they're a massive sport brand, and that leads me to believe that they are the best in their field when it comes to obviously sporting activities, and therefore their apps should be the best suited.
Superior.
Be the best suited for those sort of activities.
Do you find that when you use these apps, there's like a sort of competitive edge that comes out? Like you strive to do better or something like that? Like, for example, I know that some of the apps enable you to connect with up with your friends.
Yeah.
So is that something that you use it for?
Definitely, yeah. On the Nike running app, you can set up targets between two time dates that measures like distance, time, when you complete certain challenges, and I think that those sort of features very much make you more competitive against others and make you want to go out running more solely because you want to beat your friends.
Yeah. Do you pay attention to the sort of data that's produced from these apps, like pace and like the distance you've run? Do you feel like that influences you to do better, or?
Definitely, yeah. Before if I'm running the same route as what I previously ran a few weeks ago, then I will look at the pace and time splits as well as overall time for that specific route, purely because then you've got something to aim for, and you know that if you do the same route faster than a couple of weeks ago, obviously you've progressed and got fitter and that sort of stuff.
Definitely. But the question is, do you ever run without technology?
Do
you feel like...
I've run without my phone, but that's only because I was at the gym, and when you're at the gym, the machines there track all that sort of stuff for you. So as far as running without technology, the only real time I've run without any sort of tracking would be when I'm playing football Saturdays. But of course you can't carry your phone around when you're playing football.
Does the style of the application you use make for a user-friendly experience?
But when I first downloaded the app, I'd obviously never used it before, and I think that the layout of the app is very good in itself. It's very much pick it up and work it out within the first 5 minutes. The colours of the app, the red and silver sections, they segment and break up areas very well, as well as even down to the font. The font is very easy to sort of read, and you can just look at it quick. It's easy to understand.
Yeah, it's very understandable, especially from Nike as well. It's such
a
big brand, so
yeah.
You'd think that they would do a good job with it.
Yeah, you'd expect them being leaders in their field to produce a good app.
Yeah, definitely. And do you feel like with your using the Nike running app, do you feel that you're attracted to just using Nike as like their running of apps and that sort of thing, or would you go for another app? And what would persuade you to use another sort of application?
I have tried other apps. I used a what's it called? Track My Run or something it was called, and of course that being from a company that wasn't as solely focused on and have the experience of past encounters with sporting activities, it was a bit fiddly and wasn't as well set out and didn't quite match everything you would require from a running app, such as things like accurate GPS tracking and all that sort of stuff. So I think the Nike running app, for me personally, is the dominant in the market.
So is there another way that you feel could motivate you to run within design? So for example, is there any sort of poster designs that you've seen or campaigns that you really felt really stood out and potentially could work a lot better than app design?
Yeah, I think that if you was to create a poster, which like at my local gym there was a poster that had a route that went from my local gym to all of the other same branches of that gym throughout the south of England, all the way down to Brighton. So I think those sort of posters and sort of activities would definitely motivate you to run, because you're going for a target. You're not just going out and running a couple laps of the streets. You're actually going and you're running a good distance.
Sort of reaching a goal.
Yeah.
So it's quite nice to use posters to motivate goal reaching and achieving sort of.
Yeah, because if you see, say, your run on a large scale map, for example, like the one I said about in the gym, it was a map of the entire south of England. So if you look at the map, you obviously know how far that away that's going to be. So if you know that you've run that far, it's pretty impressive.
Hello, so this is Matt, a fellow graphic designer who I study with on my course, and he is also a part-time runner too. So Matt, as a runner, do you have any access to running-based technology such as apps or running watches?
Yeah, I use a series on my phone called Run Meter, and it's just a really basic running app. It just records you how fast you go and stuff like that. So nothing too fancy, but.
What's your main reason for using that app over like other apps like Nike or ASICS running apps and stuff like that?
I think for me it's just because I'm drawn to simplicity, and it's a very simple app. It's not. I think if you know the Nike one, it's quite a in-your-face, bold one. So this one's just really simple, and it just tells you what you need to know when you need to know it, which is how I sort of work. So.
Great. Do you find that when using your app, or if you use any device to use the app, is there a more competitive side of you that comes out? Like, do you set challenges with friends or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always trying to beat the time that I got last time. So I'm normally spending a week at a time trying to get faster on a route and just trying to improve. But I think it brings out more of the competition side of me rather than with others, but it definitely does, I think, yeah.
So it basically like builds up your performance overall, and also your progress and stuff like
it's
that.
just you trying to find that extra second or half a second or whatever you go.
So as a graphic designer, when using these apps, do you find that you're drawn to the sort of data that it shows, such as like pace and distance and stuff, and the way they visualize it?
I think as you know, as designers, we have to be well informed about what we're doing and how we do it, and I think that having those pieces of information is, as a designer, it's useful, but also it's extremely useful for runners. But I think we have the added advantage of we can use it differently, so we can maybe promote our runs better, or maybe we just, I don't know.
Maybe it's a good way to sort of analyse it too.
Yeah, it's like we have the art of making things visual, which I think is quite nice.
Yeah. Do you feel like with all this sort of stuff as well, like all these pace readings and distance readings, do you feel like that's a great way to sort of motivate you to do more as well? Like, is that
I think
a
so.
push?
I think if you have something in hard copy, then you're always, it's something to work towards and it's something to work on, which I think you can't just do if you're thinking about it. I think hard copies is definitely a thing to motivate you or work towards. Yeah.
So I remember you saying, like, with the app you use, it's very like simplistic and well set out and easy to use. Do you find that there's anything else that like creates for a user-friendly experience that everyone can really like pick up and sort of?
Yeah, I think it's just understanding what people want to know about their running. I think because you have some runners that need to know everything, and then you have other runners maybe like a bit less than me who just needs to know how long they've spent and how far they've gone. So I think And I think the nice thing about my app is you can customize it, so you can take things out and put things back in depending on what you want to know. So I think that sort of customizing might be a good way.
Like making it personal to
Yeah,
you.
personal. I think a lot of things are driven by personal goals or targets. So yeah.
Do you, like with the use of apps and products and this sort of stuff? Do you feel like drawn towards the big brands, or is that really not necessary?
I don't think so.
terms of-
I think a brand is just an image, really. It's a statement in a way, but I don't think if you pick Nike, you're a better runner than an Adidas or anything like that. I think it's just that's more of the personal preference side of it. I
Yeah,
think.
it's just sort of like what you're used to.
Yeah, I
Because
think
all these brands nowadays, they kind of like they act as a friend. Like people know them so well. Like Nike, for example.
Yeah,
they're so
they're
used to them.
definitely
That, you know, they
someone
use them.
you've known. Yeah.
Yeah. And do you feel that like when you are running, obviously you use apps, but is there really like anything else out there that you use that could be used as a motivational way to sort of keep people running and get people involved in running too?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds a little strange, but for someone who's quite a visual learner, I use lampposts as sort of like landmarks.
Oh, wow.
So I use every 2 lampposts is a set goal for me, and then I count the lampposts, so every 2 is like a next target. So you could have like a campaign or something.
Oh, right.
But
That sounds-
I tend to set if I know the area, I'll set like a street sign, and that's like my distance or my target, and I'll just keep going from there, really.
Yeah, that's great.
Awesome.
It's interesting actually, because when I'm running too, it's like I always look at sort of visual things, like for example graphic design or markings on roads and stuff like that, and it's kind of like if I see one ahead I have to reach it or something like that. It's kind of odd, but I guess that's what it's like being like a graphic designer as well.
Yeah, I suppose we look for what we know
Yeah.
when you're doing something, so I think it's understandable. I think.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for that, Matt.
No worries.